Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Good evening. Welcome back, everybody, to another fun-filled episode of Common Sense and the Devil's Advocate, where we try to argue with each other, but sometimes just end up talking bullshit out of our ass. Which is way more fun, but we're not changing the title of the podcast at this point. It's too late.
Nope, it's too fun.
Yeah, I thought in hindsight, Mike, the more we get into these, I like the idea of, random bar conversations with strangers would have been a little more fun as to on point as to how our conversations kind of go, but we do still like to argue with anybody we can. So
Absolutely.
I'd like to think there's a little bit of common sense in our conversations, but most of it is sarcasm and fuckery.
Yeah, it is.
So real quick, before I get into what me and Mike have wanted to talk about for a while, I'm gonna give you a quick lowdown, Mike, on something that most people don't know happens. And this year it is crazy, crazy bad. Yesterday I woke up and I went outside to take the doggy out for her morning constitution. And I thought somebody was having a barbecue right next door. And I knew that it's been dry in Florida, but I didn't know exactly how bad it had gotten till I really dug into it. And we've got the amount of brush and wildfires going on down here is so astronomical.
No shit.
Yeah, they are like, they're evacuating some areas, and even, like, northern, I guess, northern, southern or southern Georgia is I just read 30,000 acres. They're evacuating there because 'cause we've had just from pretty much Georgia to all the way down past Miami and the Keys, we've had almost no rain in months. It's kinda crazy. All of our
You just got dumped on up here about
Yeah,
10
I
minutes
know.
ago.
Yeah, you guys keep it all. It just does not come down south. Like all of our ponds are 4, 5, 6 feet low. It looks weird. Yeah, we're like this whole state is either in drought or I'm sorry, extreme drought or something above that, as in like don't be a dumbass drought. I have a buddy that works for Amtrak, and the other day I was talking to him and he was on his phone a lot. I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, we're actually evacuating some stations. He goes, the fires going up and down this state are so bad. It's like pretty much
Wow.
any spark from a rail line just starts fire. So Amtrak is starting to like shut down routes right now. And we have like I think there's a 30 to 35% chance of rain Sunday, and that's it in the foreseeable forecast. We know that at some point it's gonna turn, and we're gonna get way too much of it, but
Yeah.
I've never seen it this dry. Even friends I know in, like, Fort Lauderdale and Miami, you're usually good for a 2 o'clock downpour every single day this time of year.
Yeah.
Nothing, they're a good 9 to 10 inches below where they should be even down there.
Yeah, I heard that even down in the Panama Canal is running low on usable water for the canal to run.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
What
I
is
I didn't know it went that far south or it came that far north, but Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's wicked, and, uh, the amount of water I have to put in my pool, like, I let it drain down to right where it's starting to, like, suck air, and you're like, "Alright, I'm not gonna damage it."
Yeah.
But I don't wanna actually get to the point you're like, "I don't wanna waste water because I could smell brush fires now," and they're nowhere near us yet, but close enough that it still
You
just
can smell
sucks,
it.
Yeah, you're used to that stuff out west, and all that. So it's an interesting time of year, very unexpected. So hopefully that'll clear up, and wish we could get some water from you guys because you got a lot.
Yeah, Florida's got 14 reported right now. Georgia's got 3, North Carolina 1, Alabama, Kentucky, blah, 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 1. You guys got like 14.
So anyway, as we're talking about all these acts of God, Mike, you like that? Segue, baby. You like that segue? Right? So there's been a topic Mike and I have thrown around a couple times lately, and there hasn't been a time that it really fits perfectly. Lately, it's
Yeah.
probably getting pretty darn close though, especially with, what happened a couple weeks ago at the Vatican. So we will call it POTUS and the 10 Commandments. I think, Ben-Hur wouldn't be in this movie.
Yeah, probably not.
Michael Caine would. Not anymore. No, not Michael Caine, it was, Woods, James Woods. He's the one who
Oh,
loves
James Woods, yes, definitely.
he loves POTUS.
psycho.
So the way we want to break this down, and I think we're gonna diverge at some point and bring in probably other presidents throughout
To
some of the
be
conver
fair, yes.
we'll pepper in a few other ones, but the big key, because, well, we're just going with the times, is obviously our current president in the White House, Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, President Trump. Again, anyone who doesn't know what the news is, and even if you try not to follow it, it's pretty hard to not see that within the last couple weeks, the guy got into a pretty much a pissing match with the Pope himself, and it was just because the Pope said that he's against violence and, all that, and, then the president puts out a image of him as a Jesus, and you're like, "Oh, sweet mother of Mary." The timing could not be any more, spot on, Michael.
All right. So, Joe, we're going to tackle these 10 commandments. I guess we decide we're going to count them down from 10 to 1.
Yeah, we gotta go. I mean, that's the way you always do the countdown, right? Come on, it's who did Casey Kasem style, baby.
Uh,
And Michael coming in at number 10.
Thou shalt not covet, be jealous of your neighbor's possessions or spouse.
House, spouse, or property. Are you go ahead, you start because holy crap. Good luck.
You know, every time he walks into any prince's palace that's covered in gold, he's like, his penis shrinks. I'm like,
So
I want a gold toilet.
oh well the I want a ballroom. I want
I want an arch.
you're right though. It is turned into he does openly say, complain, not even just say, but complain about anything any other country has in reference to the leader, right, having
Yes.
anything better than us. All these other countries have a wonderful ballroom that they host dignitaries and parties in, and we must have one in my likeness.
Yeah. So pretty much thou shalt not covet is pretty much him trying to catch up with the rest of the dictators and nasty people of the world so he can have his legacy strapped in history of the United States. Just like all these other guys do, like Saddam Hussein and his towers, statues in the middle of their central square and all this stuff.
Golden toilets.
Stalin and all those. He seems to be jealous that there are monuments and statues of all these other leaders in the world, dictators or not, but yet he if he could put a statue of himself over top of the Washington Monument, I guarantee his punk ass would. He's that jealous.
So I don't know if you saw there was a question brought up recently about because again, this is his second term. Normally, when the president is done, what they leave as their legacy is a library, the presidential library. And
Yes.
they asked him his view on where he would like his to be because he was the big New Yorker and now he's in Florida. What would he like it to be? Where would he like it to kind of have? His response was, "I don't really read, so I don't like libraries." But he wants a Trump Tower-esque type deal. Is what he had talked about. But his dream in it is like I don't know how big, but grandiose, huge gold statue of himself, like at the epicenter of this presidential building on top of
Dude,
that,
that
which
is
is
so Kim Jong Un, Kim Jong
so that's
Il.
literally yeah, you were in love with, you love to go to the Middle East and, Dubai for golf and all that, so they have the gold, they're very big on that, he always likes to go and take over any other land that he can, so it's not yeah, the coveting is an interesting one because it's not even just the want, but, yeah, it's the need. He definitely shows he must have what everybody else has who's earned it or put it up hundreds of years ago. I need it.
Yeah, he needs that eternal gratitude. Uh, yeah, yeah, he definitely wants what Kim Jong Un has. He's even said it himself in interviews.
Yeah, he likes the guy. He respects the love and admiration that he gets, which is growth. Yeah. So that one, I think, writes itself, and that's well, you know what? Hold on. Covet your neighbor's house, spouse, or property. I'm trying to make sure I remember all the other ones out there because I don't wanna talk about something that's gonna be used later, but
Right.
the man always covets any good-looking woman, and he puts it out there as blatant as possible, married or not. There was just a big thing with, Erica Kirk. I guess he tried to give her a kiss or something, and she practically ran off the stage trying to get away from him. Yeah, he's open with he's open with, "That's a beautiful woman," and so he definitely anything that catches his eye in any form of manner, except for, I've noticed, vehicles, because a man doesn't drive.
Right. I don't think he's driven his entire life.
But property, he had to have a new plane. Qatar gave him one, they want it to be better. The man wants anything that he does not have, which is weird because he's rich enough that he could actually just buy whatever he wants. So why want for something you can actually afford? It's very weird. It's the
Yeah,
accolade.
and I think it's the global stage and world history that's got him mesmerized or high. Um, the fact that he wants to be one of the greatest world leaders ever known to man. I'm sorry, my friends and family who voted for him, he's just not. He's never going to be on the stage of the top 20 of presidents of the United States. It's just not going to be a thing.
But he will be one of the most remembered,
Unfortunately,
and it
unfortunately.
won't be for all good things by any means. I think he hasn't realized that. He's got yeah, don't wanna dig into it too much, but we've talked about this before. He has it laid out to do the greatest things right now in his 4 years with everything backing him in the GOP, and he could go out. Yeah,
He's
he could have
squandering
gone
it
out
all.
yeah, he could have gone out as amazing, honestly. He could have gone out as the Mecca of America. Yeah, he's shitting the bed on the opportunity that he has and where he's taken it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So then we move right into, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." It pretty much comes down to you don't lie.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the AI say? How many times Trump lied?
Look, or even just say false witness against your neighbor. I mean, the things we say about if you're looking at our big boy neighbor, he talks shit about Canada, terribly about Mexico. And those are literal neighbors and not even talking about, other worldly neighbors, across the pond that have always been there for us. And I think they want to be there for us now if you kind of listen in on them, but they're tired of being burned. What does AI say about his
According to comprehensive database compiled by the Washington Post, and I know that could be a biased thing,
fake
put a little
news?
disclaimer on there. I mean, but it's still a reporting. Trump made over 30,573 false or misleading claims during his 4-year term in office from 2017 to 2021. 1,573.
So
Holy shit.
he's at 50 by now because he's really racking on this first year back quick.
Well, hell yeah.
Daily, multiple time.
The rate
Wow.
of false claims increased over time, starting at about 6 per day in his first year and increasing to nearly 39 per day in his final year. Damn, bro.
Now, even if that is off by a margin of
Percent?
50%, holy shit. Geez, take 80% of that, 75% away because the news media, that company doesn't like him, and you're still at holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw this at it because I know the argument of every single person when that little fact tidbit of historical love is thrown at anybody, whether you're a Trump supporter or not. Well, all politicians lie. Huh? Yeah, they do, but not 30,000 times. Dude, I don't know that I've lied 30,000 times my entire 50 years of life.
Right?
Even the smallest ones, like, honey, I'll be home in 10 minutes, and it turned out to be 15.
Yeah. Politicians lie, but there's a limit.
Yeah, you should have like a jar that you give to the American people. You got to put $100,000 in it every time you tell a lie, and then we get a bonus at the end of your term. Cheers.
Well, they did. It was called a tariff, and now they're having to refund $170 billion because it was bullshit. But the other thing is here, it's not even bearing false witness and lying. It's doing it and continuing to believe it while you're saying it. And he gets angry when someone fact checks, or his minions get angry when he's fact checked, and they have to then come up with I've seen people say gas prices have gone down this year, and reporters are like, "You're kidding, right? Come on." Every idiot knows that. Every person in the world knows that's not true. You can spin this a different way. You don't have to lie blatantly to our faces. They just
Wow.
dig in and then just keep going. Let me
Gaslight the shit out of this.
Yeah. No, there's not even a that one's just that's a gimme right there. So we're gonna move right on to thou you shall not steal.
Thou shalt not steal. Come on, bro. So let's just go with Venezuela. I mean, that's the most current one. Bro, really? You just gonna go in without due process and take a leader of a sovereign country? Okay, that's right. I mean, not
Mike,
not that it was bad, but
you're wrong, Mike. That is not the most recent because we just did that in Iran.
well, we just killed those guys.
As
We
opposed to
just killed them.
we kidnapped the
Y-
motherfucker from Venezuela.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then we kidnapped the leader of Venezuela, locked him up in Manhattan, and then we extorted the Nobel Peace Prize from the current vice president.
Dude.
She gave it to him so he could have his wee-wee stroked by Venezuela, so they didn't get yeah. Dude, this is just a bad thing. My crowd's kicking in a little too fast.
Oh, we just took a cargo ship,
Wasn't
and
that linked to China?
no, it was one of Iran's cargo ships just bringing their stuff in or going out. So they're blockading the Iranian port, and it's pretty much to stymie their economy so that they hurt in other ways. Which, okay, I get it, but you're saying Iran cannot steal the eighth commandment from others by stealing their money to use this straight that you don't own and all of that, but we can do it. And it's being dictated. People can say, "Oh, he's not doing it. It's the military." What they are only following orders
Yes,
that
he
come
is the
from
commander in chief.
which, the frat boy is giving out those from the president. So I would consider that all straight up thievedom. It's sad, but we are
Well, that and you've got Trump University. You've got all the times he shammed the American government from his taxes, overinflating his properties at the right time, underinflating them at the correct time.
his crypto
Yeah, all of the contractors that he duped over the years and not
gold
paid,
fund.
thou shalt not steal. Then let's not even go to the top secret nuclear documents that were found in the bathroom of Mar-a-Lago. Let's not go
Right?
there.
Well, don't you dare. Sure, Biden did the same stuff. I think he did it as an idiot, in all honesty.
I
He
think
hid
his was shit ended up in a couple file boxes that he didn't realize, and his administration did not go through his stuff properly to then say, "Yo, Mr. President, you shouldn't be having this." But still, it doesn't make it right. Ignorance does not protect you from the law.
correct. Again, if we're throwing spaghetti at the wall, and
Or
again,
ketchup.
I'm gonna hit at one that I have never been a fan of, one bit whatsoever. The Clintons have always scared the living shit out of me. I'm afraid to even say their name out loud. Hillary more than Bill by any means whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
She
he is the cuck of all of this. You
Yeah,
know he is.
just as
Sorry,
evil.
Bill.
Honestly, Hillary would be Trump's perfect soulmate in all honesty, because they both look like they would scare the shit out of the devil. But again, yes, she had that server, emails. She stole shit left and right and openly got caught and eh, eh, they
Eh,
didn't again, people do all this stuff and they never really get truly disciplined for it. You could
So I'm
say
gonna
who
send people down a rabbit hole on the Clintons here real quick. I just
Yes.
recently started diving into people that have died that have been incorporated with the Clinton administration, whether it be Bill or Hillary. There is 46 people that have died after working with the Clintons. 46. Now you reverse that to say, okay, Bill Clinton had 46 women accuse him of rape. Okay, you have 46 people that died under the administration of the Clintons.
Doo-doo. Crazy, isn't it?
So, and just so we're fair to all parties at hand, everybody must know that I do believe that Joe and I are on the same standing here that if you're guilty of atrocities, you should fucking burn, regardless of who you are.
100%. Oh, you're a shitbag regardless. If Um, if it came out tomorrow that Reagan had a love nest of women he was raping, I'd be like, "Wow, what a shit."
Tear
And he
down
was a
his fucking library and
and he
shit
was
on
a
it.
and he was a movie star. Uh, I if it came out tomorrow, because 'cause let's go with a recent one that people are very apt to not actually talk crazy negative against unless it's for some really dumbass thing. But if Obama came out and had a whole harem or I can't think of what, right? Let's say he had 2 or 3 families that no one knew about, and he was just a dastardly evil hell, maybe let's say he's on Epstein Island right the fuck now, trafficking, you know? I don't know, but, yeah, I'm trying to think of
Burn it.
something that's out there, right? Where you would be like, "Put him prison justice will take care of this." You know,
Yes.
child pornography, lock throw him away, lock up, throw away the key. Don't care if you like him or not. Don't care the color of his skin. Don't care what gender.
We
Yeah,
don't
any
care
of
about
that.
the whatabouts. We don't
No,
care about the whatabouts.
not one bit. Do not give 2 shits what your political affiliation is. If you're a bad POS, then you deserve what you get.
So I do believe that our two presidents that are probably the most wholesome, believe it or not, of our modern era. So since we've been born,
Okay, let's see if we agree on
has to
this.
be has to be, and I'm not even shitting you. Jimmy Carter and Barack Obama have to be the two most wholesome presidents we've had, regardless of what they did in office. As far as their personal life, I really think Obama was so deathly afraid of Michelle
Probably
that
still
he had
is.
no choice but to stay the straight and narrow. And Jimmy Carter was, even though he was an inept mental soul as far as president goes and made some bad decisions, I really don't think that guy had a bad bone in his body.
I think you're right. He proved that until the day he died.
Yeah. Now,
I would
Bush, Daddy Bush,
Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Hold on, we're coming back to that. Okay, just hold your fucking horses there, Johnny
all right, let's
Caramel.
slow down.
Okay. So one, I agree with you on both of those. I've yet to see anything that makes me wanna spit in Obama's face in any manner. As a person, Carter, no respect for the man as a president.
No,
As a human being, the more I learned about him, the more I was like, "This guy is just a, pillar to what human beings should be." He was doing community service literally till, like, the day he died.
yes.
He did he hit 100? He was so close. I think he did.
I believe he did. Let me see.
He was a little after, but I believe he was, like, working on a house for a homeless people at damn near
Yeah.
100. He was yeah, you can't take it away from him. You can chastise you want for his presidency, that's fine. I wouldn't even argue with you, but as a person, which is more where I respect people is how they are in their heart, huge win. He is probably number 1, honestly, because that's all he
Check
cared
this
about.
shit out, Joe. His birthday was October 1st, 1924. He passed away on December 29th, 2024. So he just hit 100.
He just made it. Good for you. You're no Mel Brooks, brother, but good job.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely no Mel Brooks.
You know, Spaceballs 2, baby, coming out, and Mel Brooks at 99. Love it. Next year.
My
They
God,
finished it.
please finish it.
No, they did. It's done. It's been announced. It's fully done. I don't know why they're waiting a year to
Let's
put
go.
it out. I think there's just too many big things coming out, but no, it is coming out. It is already done. Rick Moranis came out of retirement. It's just gonna be fantastic. I have always thought okay, hold on. I do wanna get this out there. If you're looking at good-hearted, um, not smart, I I would put next on the list your Bush Jr. Sure, he did a bunch of drugs in college, and he was
That's
a
that that's
but
so I'm gonna throw that caveat out. I What anybody did previous to the presidency is, for me, unless it's illegal, like
Mhm.
seriously, felony wise, like rape and torture and death, drugs, it's a just a piss poor decision. And hey, did you have a good time? All right, good. Did you expand your life? Great.
think he was I think the problem with him was Cheney was too much of a daddy figure, was
Yes.
just doing whatever he thought he had to do because that was kinda his daddy, you know, in lack of a better term. An older man, yes, you're maybe my quote unquote subordinate as the vice president, but I respect your decisions because my dad would tell me to do that anyway and all that. But if you take Like, just the other day, I don't know why it popped up, but the off the cuff speech he made at 9/11 wearing a firefighter suit helping clean up.
Yeah.
You're like, the man is he's showing his true heart on his sleeve, and I just think he always came across to me as just a good person. He always wanted to do the right thing. I'm not
Right.
saying he did. He was dopey. I bet you he'd be up top on my list. I don't know. Like, I always thought, which president would I love to have drinks with? You know, Clinton, you would be a blast to
Oh yeah.
drink with. Obama would be a blast to drink with. I think Bush would be a blast, but problem is Jefferson would be the list for drinking would be, it'd be like 20 easy presidents. I wouldn't even hesitate.
I think my number one guy to drink would be Benjamin Franklin. That would be my number one go-to.
Wasn't a president.
I know he wasn't a president, Joe. I'm just saying one of the founding fathers. Yeah, I want Franklin and Adams right there.
Was Adams a fun guy? I don't know. I just think Sam Adams because of the beer, but that doesn't mean shit to me, you know?
John Adams, from what I have researched, was a pretentious, self-righteous, over-opinionated asshole that a lot of people didn't know how to take, even though he was a great man that did great things.
Mhm.
I think he forgot himself in certain rooms
Okay,
and
okay.
let go of his ego a little bit too much.
Oh, like Trump.
Instead, yeah, in a sense, but way better of a diplomat, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if we're talking about sitting out and having a drink, especially since I'm a bourbon drinker, oh my god, FDR, he's gonna throw a cigar in with it. The conversation there would probably just be phenomenal talking. That would just be.
Kennedy.
I mean, so it's more a matter of, do you want a rambunctious drinking session of conversations, or do you want, some of them, Teddy and them is going to be deep with the stories, but you just got to sit there and go, tell me more, versus like
Yeah,
Obama, Clinton, there's going to be
it
ribbon
would
and
be more
jabbing.
engaging.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I've seen Clinton. He bought me a shot of tequila once walking by in the Gables, and
Woo!
the smile on the man's face just walking through a room was, you could tell he had it. He had the persona. Um, but we've moved on, Mike. We've moved on. Are you ready?
All right,
Are
I'm
you ready
ready.
for the easiest? This is gonna be, oh my Christ, this is bad, Mike. This one's so, so, so easy. I don't
7?
even.
We're on 7, right?
Yeah, we probably should skip it. You wanna read
You
it
know
out,
what?
Mike?
Let's just say it out loud. Let me say it out loud, and then
Do it.
we'll just go skip because we're just gonna waste too much time on how much of this he has destroyed. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Boom.
Trumpy,
Sorry.
you're
The
such
number
a
of times.
pervert.
Yes, the number of times is listed, and it's about as there's no arguing in that one. Straight up, don't care who you are, don't even try.
Yep, no. Yeah, he's a naughty boy. Joe, move on to number 6.
Because he'll admit that one straight up. Uh,
No,
you shall not murder. Okay, Mike, this is a tough one, all right?
it is.
Because I don't wanna split hairs. I don't want to there's every single president that's been out there
Yes.
could technically you could claim that they have signed a
Yes.
death on somebody. So, that
So
is
as far
one.
as the presidency in a whole, I don't know that President Trump can take number 6 and he's not an outlier, as you just pointed out.
No, no, not
He's
at
really
all.
not. I
I
mean,
can't think of
Clinton,
any of them.
yeah, Clinton did it, Obama did it, Bush did it, Daddy Bush did it, Reagan did it. I mean,
Even I mean, they
even
all
Carter did it.
something has happened during all of them. Kennedy, great man. Vietnam, I mean, fuck.
They have Arabs. I mean,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
no one out there. Even if you were to say World War One and Two wasn't their fault, it doesn't matter. They still signed off on it happening, and we're okay with
right.
it. So
The only thing I would split hairs with, and I know you could go back through history with George W. Bush and all that through the Iraq War and Afghanistan and stuff. The recent thing with Trump would be the attack and bombing of that schoolgirl. I think it was like 126 people died in there, and it was a young schoolgirl school that got bombed in Iran. But
so that would not be
that
the one I would
beats.
put in there.
Oh, really?
Yes, I would actually, if I had to go for that, just if we're being specific, as shitty as it sounds, I think the quote unquote drug runners from Venezuela that we just blew up without
Yeah.
ever the Iranian hospital or the school. I just want to hope to God it was a GPS miscalculation.
Or just bad intel.
Bad intel.
Bad
Whereas
intel.
the drug runners were, we see boats running out there, blow them up. We are saying they have drugs on them. But we don't know. We don't know where the fuck they're going. We did not board and do any, no. And that was a lot that
And
we
then they
did that
went
on.
through and killed the survivors. Dude,
Yes.
what the hell are you drinking, bro? Is that Weller?
I have, no, this is Weller, a Weller antique I got last time I was actually up there. But I
Weller.
have a pseudo glass decanter that my sister had given me. And my neighbor taught me this little trick that he does when he gets down to the bottom of a bottle
Mhm.
and that he likes. He has
This is
started,
Steve we're talking about, right?
what?
This is Steve we're talking about, right?
No, this is Alan who's been on the show.
Alan. Okay.
Alan. So what he does is he's got this bottle and it's his mix of bourbons that he's enjoyed. So he saves a little bit of it and he pours it in here and he's making kind of his own mix of happiness. I think he actually has drank in some of his. I don't have enough, but at some point it'll get high enough to where I'm like, all right, let's see how my flavor profile over the years has come
Well,
together.
Joe, you have till your birthday to fill that fucker up.
Whoa. Oh.
Get busy. All right, so we're just gonna move past number 6 because there really is no president in history that in recent history, we should say, that really can bystand this number 6 of thou shalt not kill. It
I
just
don't think outside of war times or even being in the military themselves, there is not one that has been found guilty of literally murdering somebody themselves.
correct. But they're still
60%
responsible
of
for
them,
making a call.
yes, 60% of them, one wouldn't have the balls to do it. I know how me, I would have to be backed into a corner. It would, or my family would have to be, in dire straits for me to do something like that. Trump,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's ever even fired a gun. There's no way the man could do anything, honestly, other than hit a golf club. I don't think he would hit a person with it who's raping his wife because he'd be afraid of breaking his damn golf club. It'd be too
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, you can't touch his
So
paddleways.
he gets a total free pass on that one
All
percent.
right, 5,
That was a
honor
tough.
thy father and mother. Yeah, nah, he just,
He took daddy's money happily.
well, yeah, I guess that's an honor. Took daddy's $1,000,000.
Yeah, that's it. That is a little bit of a tough one because you really don't get into the president's psyche on their parent. If you think about it, and again, this has always been one of my problems I have with people in that position, or Kennedy would probably be the only first one that, and even Obama, maybe, where they're so damn old by the time they get there, they don't have their parents aren't living.
Correct.
And I don't, Kennedy, well, his whole family was in politics, so you always knew the name. You knew that one. Did Barack? I don't. I mean, he's referenced his mother, I believe. She's was in Hawaii and all that, but I can
Yes.
never think of a president in my lifetime that has had their parents at any gala or anything at the White House, which seems kind of weird. Except for the Bushes, I guess, because they were
Oh,
in
yeah.
it. But I don't remember George Senior being at anything for George W. I can't, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it wasn't.
I think he was, but it's more like, hey, he's the ex-president, so he's, kinda bound by decorum to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah, five's kinda boring. You can't really touch anybody on that one.
it is. I'm gonna
I mean, I know the history is Trump, was more of a mama's boy. He learned a lot from his dad, which is unfortunately where a lot of his scummy side came from what I read about,
yeah.
but he was traumatically hurt by his mother's passing. So, we're gonna leave the honor my thy father and mother out because that's digging kinda deep.
And I don't think any of them been, I mean, there's been some shitty people out there in the presidency, but none have gone far enough to degrade their own parents. And I did look it up here real quick, and it does say that he has frequently honored his parents, Mary and Fred, in public statements. And then, as you said, he often credits his mother for his sense of showmanship and confidence, and his dad for teaching him the business. But yeah, it does say he was definitely so much of what he's become is because of his mother.
Right. Okay, so we'll move on to number 4. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Well, he golfs. Soon.
Well, and he has used, well, we can't go to that one because sorry, that's gonna be next. But yeah,
The
he
only
does not,
time he's ever celebrated the Sabbath is when it was in my opinion, publicity stunt that I've ever seen. And I might be wrong on that. I mean, I don't know if the guy doesn't go to church on a regular basis, but definitely he's seen golfing more than anything else. That is his
100%.
church.
Yes, yes. There is nowhere where I've seen him honoring the Sabbath.
Not unless it's a photo op.
And usually it's not on a Sunday.
No, it's usually like a funeral or something.
For a man that he touts the hours that he works and he tweets or whatever that you call it on Trump Social or whatever the fuck Truth Social is,
True
but he
social.
he truths out. I mean, on Sunday like crazy. But these are the day he should not be doing that stuff. Tough to not work on a Sunday when you're president. You're right, but it's really tough to not do it when you're golfing the entire day and
True.
swindling money from people.
Speaking
But
of being
again,
blasphemous,
yeah, but that's another one, Mike, where again, I can't say that I can remember a president in my history that has ever talked about, "Oh, sorry, going to church on Sunday." They don't put it out there, they don't push it.
well, I mean, I know, like, the Bushes would always go to church on Sunday, or the Obamas would, but even though I think Barack is an atheist, but, he's gotta play the game. But, yeah, yeah, the Bushes they would always be seen going to church on Sunday, so would Obama. But Trump, yeah, he don't give two shits.
No, about as
Which
less as
which I'll be honest, I think that's one of the things he's just like, "Yeah, F you, I'm going golfing."
You're right, you're right. So,
So,
I think
move to
that's
number
another one.
3, Joe, and see where we're gonna go with that one. Just
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna say
fail.
so 4 we're gonna say is a toss up for pretty much all presidents. I don't follow their personal life enough to know how often they actually go to church. I don't really care
And
because
then,
if we're talking about the current one, he doesn't embody the spirit in any manner or what it means to go to church. So I'm just gonna say,
yeah, Trump definitely uses Christianity as a prop, and I'm sorry, people, but that's my opinion.
yeah, I think people have realized that. So you're right. Let's go to the next one. And this, well, I say, okay, you're laughing, but I don't. We got to talk about this one. So you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. I read that
Anything
as in, swearing. Using Lord's name in vain. That's how I
well,
read that
god
one.
damn it, Joe, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So
And
this is why I laughed at this one, Joe, is because I am
the
not an adherent to dogma. Um, and anytime I use the word God in vain at any point, it doesn't really affect me anyhow. But I also am respectful of those who do covet that personally. So I know if you are a God fearing or a God loving person, I'm not going to typically intentionally come out and say, "Well, God damn it, you're good." Be cool
yeah.
about it. But yeah, I am totally guilty of this probably 100 times a day. Maybe not that much, but I'm not too far off. So don't take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. I don't care.
So you're right. But the thing is, for you and a lot of people I know, when you use it, it is not.
It's not
What?
used to
Yes.
destroy. It's more of an adjective kind of
Yeah,
sense.
the intention of it is not that. It is more of a second nature. It just comes out
Expression.
because, yeah, it's like you said, yeah, it's an adjective. You're not doing it in a way to literally disparage whatever you want to consider as your Lord and Savior, be it a poodle down the street or, Muhammad or what you consider God. It's not.
So I have a great story, and to this day, I know he uses it. I have an uncle that is a Catholic priest on the cusp. He's retired, even though you're never really retired from the clergy. But we used to hang out in this cabin a lot, and back in the day. And anytime somebody said "God damn it" in his presence, he was so cool about it. He'd say, "Hey, don't talk about my boss like that."
Nice.
While he was drinking his Manhattans, by the way.
Dude, they're some of the best brewers of beer out there. That's for
Oh, yeah.
darn sure.
So yeah,
Um,
do not take the name of thy Lord thy God in vain. I'm guilty as charged, even if it is expressionary when I stub my toe. Or yeah, I
yeah,
can't.
we all are. You've done it, even if you're consciously to never do it, it's probably gonna slip at least once in your life. But I'm gonna say, if there's any son of a bitch, Mike.
Bring it, Joe. Bring it.
Well, I come with a thought process, and I do wanna prop the man up for something good-ish. Trump is not known to have a potty mouth or talk all this stuff, but he has been caught lately when he gets pissed off. He flicked off the guy at Ford,
Yes.
and I think and he says some of the
He's dropped some
evilest.
bombs in speeches and stuff.
Yeah, and he says some of the evilest shit to women, and even anyone that's he believes is below him. He just doesn't.
Shut up, Piggy.
Yeah, he doesn't use the Lord's name in vain. I would give him a pass on this one. I don't think he doesn't, and I see that as because he believes he's such a savvy businessman that he thinks he is above using curse words other than those extreme circumstances, because a lot of people think that they're at an elevated level to where that is below them to use those type of words in their daily vernacular.
True. Bird's the one, or I helped create one. He doesn't believe that curse words are necessary. I'm like, "Well, fuck that."
Wow, it's amazing that it's your child. Your spawn is
Yeah,
he's just
I
making
know,
up.
dude. I've had a potty mouth since he was born, and I never watched my tongue. And he just looks at me. He's like, "I go, why can't you say the word shit?" I really don't see the need for it,
You
Dad. I'm
do.
like,
Well, he's making
screw
up
you
for
and
it,
your yeah. He's making
which
up
is
for my
crazy.
sins.
Yeah, he's making up for you, Mike. I'm trying to
Bottom
cancel
line,
out.
Joe, do not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. I am not going to mentally or verbally crucify anybody that I am 100,000% guilty of doing on probably a weekly, if not daily basis. So y'all get a pass on that one.
You get a
Go to
pass.
number two, Joe.
Um, okay, number 2. So now I'm gonna hold on real quick before we go to 2, just because we've noted it on other ones. You should not misuse the name of the Lord your God. I cannot also think of any president who's ever gotten up there and knowingly spouted out some just nasty shit. Yes, behind closed doors, I'm sure Nixon says some amazing stuff. I'm sure Teddy Roosevelt did. And the further back we go, probably the worse it gets. I'm sure those guys got very drunk in the first.
There is rumors that Johnson used to flip his giant penis out on the desk in
I
front of
heard that.
people, going, "Now you know who is boss."
Yes, I have heard that. So
What?
they're not saints by any means, but none of them they were all smart enough to know that there's a time and place, and there are certain things that you don't do. We are a Christian nation, like it or not, we do have such a high percentage of people in this country that are, and if anything else, it's pandering to the voters. So they would be an idiot to come out there and say anything that blasphemous.
100%.
So I think everyone, as far as I can ever say, gets a pass on that one.
Mhm.
Okay, 2 and 1 are gonna be a they're gonna be a humdinger, and it's gonna be hard to not intertwine them, so I think it'd be easier to just put them together, Mike. Are you okay with
Yeah,
that?
I think you're right. I'm with you. I'm with you.
So, "You shall not make yourself an idol, and you shall have no other gods before me."
All right, let's touch on number 2.
Please
So,
see if you
do
go where
not
I'm
make
going.
or worship idols.
No, no, no. You should not make yourself an idol.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to get it from Exodus.
So either way, I mean, when somebody runs for the presidency of the United States of America. Even though we're 250 years young, it is still amazing to me that we take every single president, and if we don't make a monument to them, we definitely make a library for them, even though they're responsible for keeping it up with donations and stuff after the presidency's over. But there still is people flock to some of these presidential libraries as a pilgrimage. So is Trump alone on this? No, no. Right now, Obama's creating his library. I don't know why it's not done. Who knows? But I don't know of any other president's library I would ever want to even acknowledge other than like the first 10 presidents of the United States and Abraham Lincoln. And that's just my visual. Everybody else is like, yeah, well, you're doing common, recent history from like 1977 on up. It's like, I lived it. I'm good. I saw the drop of the Berlin Wall. I've got a piece of it in my safe. You know,
Nice. So here's my key thoughts on this one, and this is where I think our current POTUS just blows through this one in a way I've almost never seen in a way I've never seen in my lifespan. You only hear about it historically, 'cause it is not to make yourself in the image. Okay, this man has what other presidents haven't done. He has renamed things after himself. Buildings that
Constantly.
had been named, the whole Kennedy Center that he had to have his own name added to. All that is done posthumously. You do not do it yourself. The memorials that are out there to other presidents were not put up by themselves. Never thought about, never considered, never asked for it, and sure as shit never demanded. But no one should ever be surprised by that. Every Trump tower that's out there is laden in gold with his name plastered on everything.
Yeah.
His name is part of his brand, I get it, but it has to be out there in every manner of speaking, and he definitely does what he can to make himself an idol. The merchandise that has come about since 2020, it just there is no level of he makes Alex Jones look like a calm individual when it comes to selling his soul, and that's
Yeah.
where I think it's just disgusting. That goes right along with the "shall not commit adultery," as in, you can't argue this one. Whatever your view is, you might be okay with it, you might back it up, you might say, "He deserves it," and whatever, but you cannot say that he doesn't do it in any manner
Well,
whatsoever.
so to back up my number two, the do not make or worship idols. Now, I understand that the the hubris behind doing a presidential library is mainly for historical documentation.
Mhm.
But let's just face the fact, for you from like the 1800s on up, if you ran for president of the United States, it's because you're pretty much a narcissist.
100.
I mean, once the public view and printing press got out there, Adams and Jefferson, that's when it kind of started. But we really didn't get deep into political corruption bullshit until McKinley. That's when big money started getting involved. Historically,
Took over.
it's been documented that when McKinley he was the first president that was really bought in by the billionaires, millionaires, billionaires by now, trillionaires if you mark it up.
Get
Anywho,
close.
but to make or worship idols, that's where I would say there are a few that would be like, well, this is just a historical thing. But I think when you come to Trump, the fact that he had to do that visual of his tower being, 6,000 feet tall, I'm exaggerating, of course, and the most obnoxious thing in the middle of Manhattan just goes to show that he wants to be the idol. He wants to be the worship. He wants to be the golden statue in the middle of the square. He wants to be more popular than Kim Jong Un. He wants to be more popular than the Russian.
Well, I mean, you could take anything else out there as him just trying to make more money because if the man worships anything, it's money, 1000%. Even I think even more than power, because to him, money is power. But
Yes,
he fucking tweeted a picture of himself as Christ.
as
So
Christ.
literally, anybody out there who would call themselves a devout anything would never have one, an image like that created, and two, they would never share it out wholeheartedly, expecting people to be like, yes, love it.
So, Joe, I'm an unbeliever. I am not. I am a Reformed Catholic through my youth, and I wouldn't even have the audacity, as a joke, to my family members that know me and know my sense of humor, to throw that out there, to put me in a Jesus-like out of respect to them. So the fact that he did it, for me, is comical to an extent. But but at the point to where knowing that I would never have the gall to go that far, knowing that my family knows my stance on all the religion and faith and all that stuff. I don't press it, and they don't press me back and forth. It's a respect thing.
Yeah,
But I would never ever manifest myself in a AI picture as me being Jesus, like
or any deity.
overflowing them. Yeah, I wouldn't do it as Mohammed or Jesus himself, only because those are the two primary religions right now that hold a lot of clout. And you don't want to be disrespectful just to get what's your point? What are you trying to do with that? What was he trying to gain in that moment, other than the fact that he wants to be that?
For him, I look cool in this, so I'm gonna share it. I guarantee you there's not enough the dude's almost 80. There's not enough true thought process going on for any of that type stuff. If he thinks he looks spectacular for half a millisecond, he's just gonna share it out. It might not even be deity like he is as absent-minded as everyone says Biden was,
Yeah.
and he just does it more publicly. I agree with everything you said. I wouldn't do it because I think it's just disrespectful to even if you have no beliefs, the whole idea behind what that thing that you're portraying is, which is supposed to be nothing but good. The
Goodness.
idea
Yeah.
the idea of your deity is love and opening and good. And why the fuck? No, I'm a massively flawed individual. I would love to think that someone would look up to me that much, but don't. You shouldn't.
No.
No, and
No.
don't.
So my stance on it is, yeah, I am a non-believer, atheist, whatever you want to throw at it, but I'm also not a disrespectful prick. And that's exactly what he did in that picture. And for him to turn around and say, "Oh, I was betraying a doctor," I don't know why I just called like Christopher Walken right there, but yeah, it's he totally backhanded everybody that followed him, especially the evangelical crowd that was
Yeah.
that was backing him for him to take that picture and think it was okay, and then turn around and say he was a doctor and gaslight everybody like that is a double-handed disrespect because now he's making everybody's intelligence inferior to his stupid.
Yeah, and at the same time, during that, he's poo-pooing the Pope, who's
Mhm.
talking about, love and all this type of stuff, and that's not right, and so, yeah, it's like literally finding the bear, poking it with a stick, and then seeing how many times you can poke it in its eyes before it bites your arm off out of curiosity. It's a
Which
weird one.
blends into number 1, I am the Lord
So
thy God. Have no other gods before me. Bottom line, if Trump could be considered a god, he would love it. He would stroke it. He would embrace it. He would eat it. He would wipe his ass with it and eat it for lunch. Or he threw it across the wall on a ketchup smeared photo of George Washington, just so he could have an upper hand in the world of being admired on that level.
so you think on that one, it merges with number 2 as he in his mind, he is equal to or surpasses the
I
Lord.
believe that he has in his mind that he is better than that. I honestly don't think he's a believer in anything in the Bible. Anytime a question comes up, he totally dodges it.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond like you and I who grew up in a faith system that totally built our own opinion from A to Z, where he, I think, just sees the idea of God as a competitor for his own idiom. It's like,
What
okay,
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, what is one of the big sayings in the Bible is that, that Jesus is seated at the right hand of the Lord. If you said that to Trump, he would probably say, "Well, until
I
I
am
get there."
Lord.
Well, no,
Right.
he's seated there until I show up. He's just keeping SC warm for me, right?
Right, right. Yeah, wait till God meets me, I'm the shit.
His I get up there, God will retire because he won't be needed anymore. That is unfortunately, and I'm not gonna. He's definitely not the only man in this world with that ego by any
Oh,
means
hell no.
whatsoever. There's millions of them out there, but he embodies it, and he's given the ability to
And
do so.
Joe, I have to be honest, I don't know that if I had that kind of money and power, I don't know that any one of us, to an extent, not necessarily to this, but money and power corrupts the mind.
Yes.
So I don't know if I had billions of dollars in my pocket, if I would be the same Mike that I would be right now. I don't
No, you would.
I right. So, you have to take that into consideration, but I seriously don't think that I would want to crave to be an idol for everyone to look up to, for everyone to see my name on 50,000 units of hotels and monuments and building an arch and a ballroom, making obscene law.
I agree with you 100%. If I
But I
came into
don't know right, but I don't know that my ego wouldn't go,
Oh, yeah, Mike, if I were to look at this list of things and think about if I was all of a sudden given a ridiculous amount of money and power, "Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's house." Yep, I would probably I would want some shit, and I would probably go get it. Um, would I lie against my neighbor and all that, bear fault witness or bear false witness? Probably. We always lie, but that's kind of a weird one. Stealing? No, because I would just buy it. I wouldn't need
No,
to.
it wouldn't need to.
Commit adultery, you know what? If you're that rich and powerful, you probably are. Male and female, you're just don't care. It doesn't mean anything to you, unfortunately, I'm not gonna
Unfortunately,
murder. I'm always gonna honor my family.
yeah.
Neither one of us remember the Sabbath now, so
No
we're not gonna do it if we have even more money and all that.
apologies, but yeah, no, I'm not going to
It's
change.
just not that's not gonna change. Unless all of my money came from somebody who's massively
Divinely
religious.
gave it to me.
Or yeah, there'd have to be a circumstance for that one. So when it goes
Robin
down to the
Williams would have to come down with blue skin and say, "Here you go."
so yeah, there are certain things I know I would become a shittier person version of myself if you handed me $5 billion and the, the right hand of the president, or the ear of the president type of deal, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That is just how it is. That's human nature.
But at
Say
the
you
same
wouldn't do
time,
that, you're a fucking liar. I'm sorry.
right, right. But at the same time, inner, like, deep second mind soul, the little angel on my shoulder would hope that that little inkling would come out if you had that much money and power. Say, like,
To do some good with it.
Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is a whole other subject, but with that much money and power and influence, yeah, it's great. Get humanity to Mars, whatever. But could you be doing something a little bit better with that money in today's humanity? With that
Yeah,
billions and billions of dollars, could you be supplying more fresh water for third world countries? Just say,
yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of that. I will be curious on him to see what he does in like 20 years when he starts to hit the older age.
after rehab,
But I look at again, you look at the people that have this mass power that need to literally take it, grasp it, grow it, and that they need it to sustain their living. They're mostly at an age where I look at it and go, "Why the hell do you want any of it? Take all that money and all that and just go enjoy the rest of your life. If you wanna commit adultery, then fine. Go take it on your yacht and be Leo DiCaprio banging 20-year-olds until the day you have a heart attack in your 90s or whatever, right? Or do it or be a Jimmy Carter and, be philanthropical and do all this great stuff.
yeah,
But do you want the stress of I really don't understand why these people want a job that ties them, one, to the public, to a certain time frame. If you're a billionaire, Mike, I shouldn't even need to wear a watch. It should be whatever, whenever I want on my time to do anything I want. That's what
yeah,
boggles my mind, and that's where it comes down to the false idols and needing to be treated like a deity in your mind that and it ain't even just the president, it goes on down that line way
mhm,
too high, way too Pelosi, she shouldn't have been gone 20, 30 years ago. She needs that power, she needs to feel they would never let grasp what they feel that they have, and the problem is what they don't realize, unless you are pretty much the president, you're not gonna be remembered when you're gone for much by many,
Congress, congresswoman, man, congressperson, senator. Nope,
unless you
you're
somehow
gonna
do
fade
something
into
like
obscurity.
Vance, he will be
Most
remembered less
likely,
than Dan Quayle,
I hope
but
so.
you don't even think about poor Al Gore, and he invented the goddamn internet. "Hey, there, I just did it. Fuck,
You
yeah,
made me snort.
I
I
did it,"
snorted.
So that's the stuff that never can get past my mind. I understand. I think I can grasp the desire for the power, the desire for the money, the respect. Yes, would I love to walk into any room anywhere in the world and have people just look at me and be like, "That motherfucker Joe, he's great." Man,
Yeah,
I would love to get a picture, shake his hand, but I don't know if I should. Yes,
but
that would
as long as you maintain the reflection of a person that would invite that and say, "It's okay to come and shake my
yes.
hand." And yes, it's okay. And yes, it is good.
And there are a ridiculous amount of people out there that do that, which is the best part about it. We
Those
have
are the
both
ones we will never remember.
or some will be the ones that we will remember though, just in a different way, I guess. I'm looking at if you go outside of the political powerhouse of that, move down to like, look at your mainstream celebrities that either they embody this power and they're all crazy with it, or you have like Keanu Reeves, where
Yeah.
he always has his hands to where he's like, no, I'm still with my girl that I've been with. He just finally got married.
Hmm.
Who the guy's a multi-famous, world famous movie star of everything, and all this for years. He's been devoted to this lady who she's no American beauty or natural beauty as you would call it, but it's someone he loves and he's dedicated to.
Yeah.
That's that's a respectful person. There's tons of them out there, and there are ones that obviously, like I said, do the exact opposite of all that. But you're right, Mike. They will not be as remembered or heralded nearly as long as they are. No one talks about Mother Teresa anymore. They don't.
No, because she's actually found out to be kind of a narcissist herself.
There goes
She,
that route.
yeah,
Gandhi? Maybe somebody, Mike. Fuck.
Gandhi was a racist fuck.
Malcolm X. No, hold on. We're gonna think of somebody. There's gotta be somebody good out there. Amelia Earhart.
No, not Pope John Paul. He hid the Vatican sex crimes.
I mean, dude, the current pope is dope. I love the guy.
So far, I'm with you on that one. So
And
far, he's pretty dope.
even the last one who was from, sounded like he was a vampire from Transylvania because
Oh
he
yeah,
was,
Francis. Yeah,
but he
Pope
was
Francis.
very open. He was open in his how he felt about everybody and all that. He bring in the gays. We should love everybody. They
Absolutely.
tried to really preach what they believed instead of what
So
people
they
want.
went from Pope John Paul, who coveted the pedophiles. Then you went from Pope John Paul to Pope Benedict. Pope Benedict wanted to take the Catholic Church back to the Middle Ages, pretty much to the Spanish Inquisition almost. And then they're like, "Yeah, we had enough of you. Oh, look, you're going senile. We should bring in a different pope."
You're dead. Yeah.
Pope Francis, who then brought in a more modern, contemporary voice of the church because they were losing clergy, they were losing hope, they were losing seats in the pews. So Francis brought some of that back. I still don't agree with it, but I'm biased because I grew up Catholic. Anyway, but then you got this fella. He's so far has been proven to be pretty spot on. He's not afraid to take on world leaders. He's not afraid to voice his opinion. And even though he's just the Pope of the Vatican and the Catholic religion, he still is considered a world leader and a voice
Yeah.
of humanity.
And he comes across as a voice of humanity, which is nice, and
Yes.
that's what we need more of out there, and, I mean, we always kinda seem to hit on that kinda same note over and over. Eventually, we'll get there, but listen, us dirtbags just outnumber the good people
Unfortunately, it's just unfortunately that dirt bags scream louder than the good people.
'cause they like the way it sounds. They like the sound of their voice,
Yes,
and that's really what it comes down to. So, hey, we broke it down. We went through the 10 commandments today. We slapped them up against our current president of the United States, and then we even slapped it against a few others, and then some people that aren't even in the political realm because why the hell not, right? And I think we've
even
proved
ourselves, even
yes,
ourselves.
exactly. 100%, and we've even talked about how we would fail them if we were put in certain levels of power and monetary wealth beyond our means.
So just to goes to show that even though, and I am a very verbal non-supporter of our president, Donald Trump, that he's not alone in the realm of bullshit.
No, not at all.
Seek your soul, but yeah, he's just a lot more publicized than most of us,
He just owns it.
unfortunately.
He fucking owns it. Straight up,
I
more
just
than
don't think he gives a shit.
I mean, I know there's something going on when Tucker Carlson starts talking the acts different than he did 2 years ago. You're like, "Wow."
He knows the Trump train's ended and he's gotta save his career.
Yeah, exactly, but it's yeah, talk about, I guess, turncoats if you were on that part of that side of the aisle. It's
Yeah, the
weird.
things you've been posting for the past 10 years is it's gonna be hard to delete, especially with the internet these days.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. And again, it would same would even go with us. Are there gonna be times that we'll look back when we're in our hopefully 70s and 80s and be like, "Fuck, did I say that? What was I thinking? I'm an idiot." Or,
Or I'm
vice
proud that I said that.
yeah, and a mix.
Yeah, I've recently told my son that 'cause he's gonna be 18 this year. I said that this is yeah, no, right? This is trippy. But one of the biggest points of advice I gave him is you're turning 18. And the difference between you being 17 and 18 is when you were 17, I was responsible for everything you said. When you're 18, you're responsible for everything you say and
Yeah,
do.
good point.
So act accordingly. And I can help you be a guide, but I'm not going to be your Bible. So pay attention.
Yeah, and that's a big difference because when we were kids, in my mind, the difference between 17 and 18 was juvie and prison.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
Yeah.
do anything I can't do anything stupid anymore because now
Yeah.
I don't wanna go
But
to
but
fucking
that
prison.
but now with the internet, you say the word fuck in the wrong context and you're screwed for life.
Yeah, I mean, and look at us, we're gonna just put it out there on, put it out
Yeah.
there on audio, but
y-
I'm never running for anything because I don't have the time. Although it'd be fun, not gonna lie,
If I
it would
ran
be
for something, I definitely would be scrutinized to the end of all just because of my typing.
I don't know, I would enjoy it. I would man, I would be up on a debate and the bleeps would be crazy, but I think
Yeah.
it would be amazing to be able to just kinda put it out there the way people really think about it, and
Are you being serious? Did you really just fucking say that to me?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we
come on.
wouldn't do well.
The problem is, the beauty is nowadays, there'd be 100,000,000 Americans going, "Woo, yes, thank you." That would 100% agree with it.
Really, Joe?
We
Really?
don't have enough money to even think about it, Mike. Sorry, I don't know
Yeah, but
anybody
I have a lot of people I know and local constituents in Democracy Party. No, no,
you
I am
know
not eloquent enough to. Yeah, I get too flustered in stressful situations. I'm no good under pressure.
well, there you go, but if you do wanna make the change, yes, you gotta start local, and there are a lot of people that run unopposed for very little things in your area, and you could very easily do it if you wanted to. Someone
Hell
just
yeah.
mentioned that the other day.
Joe, I just saw we're running almost 80 minutes on this. Wow.
I don't wanna talk to you anymore.
I've had
Whee!
enough crowd.
Right, that was fun. Don't get yourself overly sick for work tomorrow, Michael. Go get a good
No,
night's sleep.
I'm good, brother. You too.
Alright, everybody.
Love y'all.
Yes,
Thanks for
take
the
it
journey.
take it cheap any way you can get it.